Welcome, race fans, to SVR. My apologies. Welcome, race fans, to Deviant Racing. My name is Webbo, and unfortunately, Zen's livery hasn't shown up for us. It looks like maybe S. Berman's hasn't either, so I will call quali as I see it, and then we'll go from there. And I'll probably have to go ahead and exit out of the lobby. So let's see how this one runs. We're at Trial Mountain in the reverse configuration for an evening race around this fantastic and fantastical circuit that we have. I'm on board with Zen at the moment. It's very bright right now because, of course, the sun is going to set on us. There's the famous rock that we will pass on the right this time instead of on our left. We're on to our first flying lap with Zen, and we can't wait to get underway. The longest straightaway here on the circuit on the north side under the tunnel. You get the God rays coming through from the tunnel ceiling as we head back under a second covered section. We're looking for that right hand turn. A lot easier actually, that one, but it's very low grip on the inside edge, and we get ready to tackle. This is the GTDPRO round 4 of the championship. I can't remember if I've titled the video correctly. I may well have been in 3 take 2 essentially. This is how things are looking. I do think the Trial Mountain reverse circuit is ever so slightly easier because you haven't got the terrible comes from a corner situation, and you haven't got the really big stop after the long straightaway that's turned into a kind of hairpin. But we shall do our best here, of course, underneath the start-finish line as we go. That's a 151.8 for Zen, a 152.0 for Berman. Here comes Buddy across the line. He goes 4th because Arcane goes 3rd immediately. We've got Chaotica in 5th position with Canzilla coming through. Excuse me 1 second. And there is that difficult turn 1 into the very, very tight turn 2 as we come in today. Canzilla. Anybody else coming through to finish out the lap? We do have a couple. This is Comacopa. It's good to see that Comacopa's been able to unpack the rig after a big trans state house move. So great to have him set up and ready to go straight away. P6 initially drops to P7 because Larry's straight in there in P6. And I think that's everybody almost across the line as we go for Astonishing here in P14. Initially, he hasn't come out. Of course, he's going to drive the safety car today, and he's watching on live with us as well. So Astonishing will be our safety car driver. Don't Need Time is the fastest on the circuit on after lap 1. Looks to be taking it pretty easy on this the second lap at speed. Second lap after the outlap, of course. Don't Need Time at 151.241, and Zen is second with Berman in 3rd place. Arcane in 4th, Nismo in 5th position, and Lowry in 6th. Zenit was at the head of the field initially, so he's still the front runner here, so to speak. Unfortunately, no new livery on the car for him at the moment. He's pulled the tyres, and I'm assuming it's building the speed for a second run. That was another personal best then for Zen on his second hot lap on the soft tyres. As the fuel is burning off, the soft tyres still in a fairly good window here, and he's managed to put in a faster time, but it's still quite a large distance away from Don't Need Time, nearly half a second between the two of them, as Berman continues directly behind Zen as well. Let's track with Zen, shall we? Many times on this circuit, the cars will appear to be going fairly steadily, but they are actually just trying to treat the car very, very delicately indeed. Right to left snake section here. Mercury setting a personal best. Glovas setting a personal best. No, sorry, Glovas leaving the room momentarily. And Zen is on a purple sector. S. Berman, it was too late to catch S. Berman's next sector. My apologies to him. As Astonishing saying, this track is very difficult. So Astonishing, your opinion on whether it's easier or harder in reverse to the forward motion. Preston sets a new record, 153.9. That's record for him, as John Kai does the same thing. But it's still Don't Need Time from Zen and Berman. And we go towards what is a visually very dirty apex of the line there. So 2 here for Zen at the moment. You think it's more difficult in reverse? Interesting. Okay, well, I always struggle to judge the braking for the turn 2 today and for turn 7, the two really tight ones after building the speed. So it's probably much more about my lap ability than anything. I feel like you've muted a couple of those corners, but astonishing. Living with it at the moment in the safety car right now. So Zen a bit slower. Berman goes into the pit lane. Copa has managed to go 4th at the moment. So astonishing, saying he struggles with all the turns, to be honest. Well, that is ferociously honest of you, but astonishing. As we cross the line with Copa, he is 0.4 of a second slower than he has been before. Here comes Chaotica. Is it going to be a better time from him? No, 3.5 of a second away at 1:53. The big gulf between the fastest drivers and the slowest out there. Let's go back to Don't Need Time. How is he doing? He is going through the first 2 turns here today, and he's come out on a new set of soft tyres. I'll be a little bit annoyed because this is his first flyer as Nismo goes wrong. Let's maybe catch that again from off board and see what happens. Does that block Don't Need Time considerably? And it's great to see the Wipeout game on the Sony Interactive team. Let's have a look in front. You'll see Nismo sideways, and that would certainly have caused a moment there of hesitation and doubt. Don't Need Time, but we will see if he's been able to continue despite that. Hello to everybody watching, not just Astonishing who's watching the live stream, but everybody who is live tuned in. Do say hello if you feel like it. Be part of today's broadcast if at all possible. And it's great to have everybody with us here. Chief benefits of being with us live is you can absolutely contribute to the broadcast. So we have Don't Need Time running down faster on this particular lap as the time is ticking away. Looks like lots of drivers just staying in the pit lane. They've actually changed to their starting tyres. It looks like S. Berman and Copa I think have gone for the hard tyres just to make sure that they don't forget what tyres they need to set the car to start with. That was Floody with a new fastest lap for him. Here comes Don't Need Time to cross the line with 5 seconds to go. Oh, he's 49 thousandths of a second away only from his best, as Chaotica I think was able to start his final lap too, but he's bailed and will not set a time on this one. So it looks like everybody's gone into the pits. That is your qualifying session done, is it? Well, no, Mercury has just crossed the line. Preston's just doing some donuts, I think, at the moment. Don't Need Time from Zen, Berman, Copa, Chaotica, Arcane, Nismo, and Cam Zilla. I was trying to sort out the liveries here momentarily, but there's your quick look at the qualifying situation. We have Don't Need Time ahead of Zen, Berman, Copa, Chaotica, Arcane, Nismo, and Camzilla, and then Floody, Larry, Junkai, Preston, and Mercury. As we've gone for a new design on the safety car, I think, although I think I'm going to have to just exit the lobby for a moment while the custom grid is being built. So I'm going to head out and then back in again once I've been able to delete the temporary files, which is usually the trick to get everybody's great liveries showing, because people do go to extreme effort to make sure the livery is looking good, and we want to be able to recognize that wherever possible. So let's do what we can then to bring those in. Hi to Kiros Kai, who tunes in to watch the race, or at least listen to the race while he trains for his GTD race, I hope. Something has failed on me. Please don't tell me I've had a game crash. Oh, here we go. Okay, right, we're back. So let's get back. Let's get ourselves right back in there for that that race session. 1 hour around this this circuit. I need to change the temporary exposure as well while I'm here. But a temporary grid, I was told, is going to happen. So here we go. No. This is what we want. We want to be able to actually see the cars, all the liveries, to the greatest extent possible, as we've got a sunset race conditions, and we get ready for the race. As Astonishing says hi to Curso Kai. Has he been cursing people, I wonder? Required tyres today, racing hards and racing mediums, of course, as we get ready for 60-minute race for the GTD Pros. Of course, we'll then follow with the GTD series as well. Looks like other liveries are coming through. Not convinced that the Charger Hellcat safety car colour scheme is the official one, but we will live with it for now. So let's see what we've got. We've got some. Oh, it looks like we've got a yellow and blue Team 404 Motorsport car today. I will save judgment on that. I think I've got a pretty good idea what it is, but I'll withhold judgment until we get to see the cars on track, as we wait for everybody just to check in and get themselves ready as well. As we're being asked to ready up, of course, so that we can get underway with our racing. I appreciate everybody's efforts to get the cars going. Looks like maybe Chaotica's livery hasn't worked. Maybe it has. Yes, I think it might have. So we will hope that we get everything that we want to see properly. You can see the safety car not Deviant branded, unfortunately, but I think that's most everybody's ready and through. I think it has come through, thankfully. Yeah, great to see. Okay, it's exactly what we want. And of course, Mercury being asked to join the voice channel. And I understand it has a Deviant brand on the hood, says Astonishing Gaming. Great. Well, we will check that out. So we will make sure that that's all good to go. Wouldn't want someone else driving that safety car, and non-official, would we? You can see the cars parked to the diagonal of this fairly narrow pit lane that we've got. 2.3 meters per second southwesterly wind today. Might catch the drivers out a little bit, possibly, as they enter the faster corners. There'll be a crosswind into the right-hander after the long tunnel straightaway. Safety car lap 15, says Kuros Kai. That's great information from Kai. So lap 15 for the GTD Pro. Coming up on the channel will be the GTDs, of course, straight afterwards. As soon as we can get that going, get the stream on, and get everybody settled, and then later on in the channel as well, almost immediately afterwards, we will go straight into the SVR G1. It's GT3 racing day today here on race day Sunday, as it often is on the channel, and I hope you found all the ways that you can possibly support the channel as well. New buttons, new memberships are available, and we do have Deviant audience members who have joined the channel for a small monthly fee. So we're going to be saying a big public thank you to them as soon as they make mention of themselves or show themselves to be watching today. But yeah, it's great to have all the support, and as I say, tips are open as well. So make sure that that you do the good stuff, and we will get ready. I'd love to hear people's predictions in the chat if you're watching with us and you've been privy to the pre-race build-up, because that should be very, very interesting indeed, to make sure that everything is going to be a-okay, and we'll find out who is going to be the winner of round 4 of the championship. So let's get ourselves organised. Let's get the screen the way we want it. Then we will be underway for the race here. It's Don't Need Time, and it's Zen. Don't Need Time for Wunderfeld Racing. Don't Need Time for the Sony Interactive. As we get ready with 5 lights on, 1 hour around Trial Mountain, and it's drop the clutch and go, go, go. And there's Komakopa launching away nicely on the Ferrari and jumping a row immediately. Don't Need Time having a fairly equitable jump up the grid as well. Don't Need Time to the outside, holding on to P1 as S. Berman and Zen will go side by side into the very slow turns 1 and 2. Zen 3000, it says on the hood of Zen's Audi R8S. and Copa up into second position, and he got that start on the hard tyres, no less. Don't need time also on the hard tyres. I imagine this is going to be the strategy option of the day, but Zen has gone aggressive in this first stint. He's gone for the medium tyres. I wonder how many laps the drivers are thinking they're going to get here, and I wonder if it will be like a 31 or 32, in which case a safety car at lap 3 is going to be a really lap 15 is going to be really interesting halfway period of the race. Through we go, through the start procedure, and it is don't need time, Copa, Zen, Berman, Chaotica, Nismo, Arcane, Preston, Junkai, Camzilla, Larry down to 11th, unfortunately, Glovas in 12th, getting past Larry, Floody, Mercury and Astonishing as they all head down the way, down the long straightaway into that tricky right-hander. Don't need time ahead, but Zen and Copa fighting over that position. Looks like Zen managed to get himself ahead of Copa as we'll run through. Forgive the brightness on the camera, it will all become very obvious later on. But Copa settling down into third position. Let's have another look then at how this went down. This is Zen in front. We perhaps have a look at it from this angle because we've got a great braking opportunity on board with the Peugeot here, as Zen just tiptoeing around Copa to the inside. Copa still holding on though down that inside line, but Zen eventually on the right-hander hanging on beautifully. Esperma coming straight back at Chaotica then and round the outside in the Lamborghini Huracan. Back to fourth position for Berman. Chaotica back down to that fifth position, and then you've got Copa going wrong down into turn 1 and missing a position. How they are avoiding each other, I do not know, but that was fantastic stuff from the drivers. As we'll just take a quick replay of this. Copa was in third. Esperman got a twofer, I think. He did indeed, and there goes Copa slotting back through, trying to close the door, trying to stay around the outside, but Esperman with a tank slapper on the way out on the non-grippy side of the track, and we continue then with Esperman somehow hanging on to that car as we face the setting sun here on the way in towards that turn 7 hairpin on the build-up to the long straightaway, and down underneath the tunnel. Esperman in third position, Zen in second position on the medium tyres, following Don't Need Time here, and there's a great speed difference available to him, both with the traction on the medium tyres and with the slipstream as they head on into turn 8, and it is even as it was before. Don't Need Time ahead of Zen. Then we've got Esperman 3.5 seconds back after just a lap and a half here. It's Esperman, Chaotica, and ahead of Copa, with behind them Nismo and Arcane waiting for things to open up for them in front in the Tutsi NASCAR, and what looks to be a new livery here, the Kool-Aid Watermelon Arcane car. But Chaotica was following Esperman, seems to have dropped back slightly as Esperman on the hard tyres has really switched this Lamborghini on fantastically, and we see as we go into the setting sun that it is almost blinding for the drivers. Let's see, it is absolutely blinding heading into the all-important corners here of turn 1 and of turn 7. It's going to be absolutely desperately difficult for everybody to get their way through. Zen is right with Don't Need Time at the head of the field. So Zen going down through into turn 3 then, a fairly slow right-hander. As Astonishing saying, the sun and night time is really pronounced here. This is Trial Mountain, a bit home of the, I'm not quite sure what part of the US it is based on, but it's certainly very big sky kind of atmosphere. As Zen dives down the inside into 7. Is that too early though? Because Don't Need Time will now get the benefit of the tow. So we'll see if that. Yeah, look at the speed difference here as he gets tucked in, the Rowdy Audi, as it says on the rear wing, but he's through. There's some gold eagles on the car as well as we go heading down into turn 8, and Don't Need Time is back ahead, so that's probably why he didn't fight it too hard. Zen almost driving into the side of Don't Need Time as they go through the corners, and Zen tucking back through once again. back into the lead of the race. A ding-dong battle between the two for the lead of the race. Don't forget though, Zen on the medium tyres to Don't Need Time's hards at the moment. That might mean he gives a little bit of speed later on into the race. The headlights come on as we go under the tunnel. The headlights will remain on, I feel, once the sun does officially set, as we're getting into that portion of the race, hopping over the what was sort of turn 2, as it were. And there you can see he's also picked up a penalty. Unfortunately, Don't Need Time. I don't think that the slipstream will buy him enough speed management to try and pick that gap back up again. As we go through to start lap 4, it's S. Berman in 3rd, Chaotica in 4th, Comacopa in 5th, Nismo in 6th, with Arcane in 7th, Preston in 8th, and then who knows, down into turn 1, it's John Kai and Camzilla side by side. Again, fantastically respectful racing from these two. The Team Predator driver Camzilla just putting a little bit of a squeeze possibly on the exit of turn 2, just blocking that cutback from John Kai in 10th place. Then you've got the 404 Motorsport driver of Glovas racing for Blockbuster Video, with Floody in 12th place, Mercury in 13th on the hard tyres. Larry not having a good first stint here on the medium tyre in P14 for the Team Builder app team. It is Zen ahead then by 1.4, but that is growing significantly as Don't Need Time, of course, took the penalty as they come through out of turn 7. Berman leads Chaotica, but it looks like that one is in doubt here. Chaotica very much in striking distance. Chaotica down the outside. Can he go and tuck the car in neatly? He sweeps across the nose of the Lamborghini. He's got the better racing line, holds on to the inside for the next left-hander, and Chaotica screams ahead in the Peugeot up to P3 ahead of S. Berman. And a big wiggle going on from S. Berman, trying to get that front end to bite and grip in. Looks like a new roof on the, a new colour scheme on the roof and hood of S. Berman's car. And it is Comacopa in 5th, Nismo in 6th position, sorry. The Dutchman driving his Nismo, his namesake car, as we run through. And then again, Berman. Looks like understeer is affecting the Lamborghinis today. This stage, this camera angle is horrid. Let's go on board, because that is going to be a slightly better situation as we wait for that sun to set. Down we go. Berman losing positions, says astonishing here. Of course, he's watching carefully to make sure he doesn't miss his cue coming in to the coming out of the pit lane, as Comacopa's in 5th place in the Ferrari, settling in at the moment to his run. S. Berman struggling right now, you have to say. It looks like the front of that Lamborghini not really quite where he needs it to be at this stage of the race. Zen leads Don't Need Time. The gap now 3.2 seconds at the head, but of course Don't Need Time only needs to stay comfortable in 2nd position at this phase of the race, because we will go into a safety car period later on, which will bring the field together, eliminate Zen's early pace advantage here, and reverse roles when it comes to the tyre situation. Chaotica then, let's ride on the windshield of Chaotica's car. Perhaps just have a quick look back. Nobody coming across the Deviant banner on the rear wing, and Chaotica runs through then that turn 8 and in towards turn 9. Now a switchback section of the racetrack. This has been with Gran Turismo drivers this track from the very beginning, a firm favourite as a result. It's got all the nostalgia feels. There's guys sitting on top of the tunnel entrance there to watch the cars come through. And, we've got the gaps just opening out ever so slightly at this stage of proceedings. Looks like Chaotica has gone for a US Air Force aspect. Oh, it's an Ace Combat 7 game. I love Ace Combat 7 on the original PSVR. So Chaotica enjoying celebrating that for Team Sony Interactive. S. Berman again struggling into turn 1 at the moment, just asking too much of that front axle, it seems. And Copa not quite able to really challenge S. Berman, who was struggling through that first part of the first turn, but by turn 2 had managed to get control of the car once again. Team Predator in the black and gold today. We've got some kind of, I think it's a grizzly bear on the side, is it? Again, we'll have another look, but a bear for the Trial Mountain circuit, very appropriate. Celebrating somewhat the Trial Mountain circuit with the special livery today here for Copa. Again, we'll try and get a better look at that at those liveries later on into the course of the race. Nismo is tucked up underneath Copa, 4.5 tenths of a second away in the big number 7 here, the Tutsi NASCAR livery. And that drops all the way down to 4 tenths of a second as he heads into turn 8. Then you've got Arcane in the Kool-Aid today. That's the Kool-Aid Nismo as well. So Arcane and teammate Nismo both in 6th and 7th position. Preston chasing him down in 8th place at the moment in the Honda NSX, representing KFC for Team Polio Loco. And then we have Junkai in 9th. A good battle going on though. Floody in the Audi for Wunderfeld, and the Mercedes AMG of Gloas in P11 as he gets out on the grass for a moment. Camzilla's right there as well and chasing him down. A little bit of lag on one of these drivers' cars, unfortunately. It might well be Globas looking at it. Yeah, fond memories of Blockbuster Video. I have personally. That was a Friday night staple, was a visit to Blockbuster Video to choose a movie. Still haven't mended that that ding in the passenger door. It's the driver door for the UK here of the Predator Racing Ferrari for Camzilla. We haven't been able to go to the body shop in the 2 weeks between races. Mercury in 13th, Larry in 14th. Really uncharacteristically lacking pace at the moment, and on the medium tyre, trying to make that medium tyre last through to the safety car lap or just prior. I think Larry. A big ask at the moment. Lap times right now 1:53, so I think we probably will go for a 31-32 lap race. Don't need times gap to the leader at the moment. Zen is 3.4 seconds, and it's just stable at that distance at the moment. The drivers not particularly, I'd say, right now incentivized to really push because of that safety car period coming up. As long as they can stay on the lead lap, they are pretty safe. So it's about just managing the car through this phase of the race. I know we do have a race coming up where there will not be a safety car, and so we will see what kind of an impact that has on the racing. That is going to be on July 27th. That's the Dragon Trail Gardens reverse circuit at sunrise as well, and we will have no safety car July 27th. A little bit of business, order of business to discuss today. Unfortunately, next round, Deep Forest Reverse on July 13th will be. I will be commentating via replay, as I will not be available for that race. So I will be doing it afterwards and releasing the video at a US friendly time so that you can watch it watch it together and participate that way through I don't know, watch party or through a comment battle in the on the video channel. But I'll let you know when that is coming, and perhaps we'll be split over different days as well for the GTDPRO and the GTD races for convenience. Floody in P9, but I'll make sure it's done before July 27th when we go to Dragon Trail first for the there's a Princess Peach helmet there, possibly for Floody. And we just want to have a nice close look at that. Is that Princess Peach? Is that what I'm looking at? Oh, okay. Yes, I think it is. I think it is. As he gets a good overlap here on the way out of turn 7, down the long straightaway. Wants to try and tuck in and get a little bit of that sweet Kool-Aid Nismo slipstream, because actually the NSX stretching its legs, and a drag race between the two. The NSX is ahead. Floody holding the line. Preston trying to turn in, loses one position, loses two positions, might end up losing a third position because he tried unsuccessfully to close the door once the car was on the inside. Junkai in the 85 getting ahead of Preston, his teammate. They're on the same strategy to Team Polyloco. As Preston cuts a very narrow line in his Mario Kart. I think they were in their karting for beer carts on Friday and in their karting suits, and I don't think they've changed. So we've got Princess Peach and we've got Mario. I haven't been able to make it to a beer cart session. I'd love to, but it's just a difficult time for me to make here on the UK side of the pond. Glovas P11, great battle here for P9, 10, 11, 12 and well even 8th position as well, and great to see the drivers all competing hard at this stage of proceedings. So knowing, as I mentioned before, that they don't have to do a great deal here. Astonishing, like that move from Floody, it seems, as oh, that's a little bit wide there from Floody in P8. Glovas getting a run on Preston, Floody having to defend hard from Junkai as they come through. 10 then for Preston. It's Glovas moving around a lot more than way jankier, I think, than he actually is driving the car. Glovas clearly struggling with lag on the car, as far as I can see anyway. The car looking a lot more lively than it really ought to at the moment. We wait for the safety car. It's lap 9 so far. It's a minute 16 and 45 seconds have elapsed. So we're waiting then for that 15th lap for the safety car to come in. Pit lane closes on lap 14, the start of lap 14. So the drivers have to get that pit stop out of the way if they want to before the race, before the safety car is due to come out. That's Preston across onto the grass there. Preston really, it seems, hasn't quite got the car set up the way he would like to see. I'd love to get a level check actually from Astonishing or Curious Kai or anybody watching. Audio levels, if you wouldn't mind. We've just had a strange race in Kyoto where the engine sounds were much lower than they were before. Someone's just started up a power talk outside my comms booth window. So that's probably not the best time for a level check as Junkai, as Glovas goes down the inside into turn 1. Completes the move, but big slide it looked like for a moment there in the Blockbuster video. Team 404 Motorsport livery today, and getting ahead of Preston, who's going backwards pretty quickly on the hard tyres. Still trying to look after that tyre at the moment. So engine's okay, but voice a bit higher, please. Okay. All right. Okay. We'll do that. We'll do that. There you go. I will. I'll do my best. So that's hopefully going to be a little bit higher for you, as Kuroskai agrees. Thank you very much. So Camzilla in P11, and Preston down to 12th now. So let's just check out that situation. That was Camzilla around the outside through the snaking S section at the start of the lap. And Preston on the hunt back again. Here he is, tucked up, peels to the inside, goes for the move into turn 8. He'll find life very low grip on the inside of turn 8. Camzilla holding on into the apex of the following corners and doing enough at this stage as Preston braking heavily. He's got the car quite, well, I was going to say quite close behind him, but he's actually fairly safe there. I still haven't heard why the Polio Loco team have got Titleist sponsorship on the back window. Doesn't quite seem to go with the Polio Loco theme. Maybe they're just keen golfers, the Team Polio Loco management. As they run through, Zen leads the race ahead of Don't Need Time, 4.7 seconds, lap 11 of the first 15 portion, where we will go into the safety car period. Chaotica is in 3rd place. S. Berman has a 1 second penalty on the car. He's got a 2 second gap between himself and Chaotica in 3rd position, but S. Berman will drop back and into the clutches of Nismo, as that penalty chevron is is a really horrible place at the start of the long straightaway, as we run through turn 7. Let's join him on board, and you can see there is the penalty chevron, and it's going to hurt here as the car behind will catch up, and of course it just steals all of his momentum, and that is massively important in these heavy GT3 cars. His gap to Chaotica growing to 4 seconds clear. The gap behind to Nismo shrinking down to below a second now. That has been a big switch around for Berman, who was in an attack position. He's now very much in a defence position. As I say, lap 11, Nismo and Komakopa still keeping the front guys honest here in the bid for a potential podium. As I'm sure we've got closer racing going on behind, but Berman then dropping down into the clutches of Nismo and Komakopa. Floody, a little bit on his own now, has managed to build a gap since overtaking Preston earlier on. And Arcane in 8th place has Glovas right behind him. And then we've got a small break back to Camzilla and Mercury in 10th and 11th position. Don't be afraid, guys, to continue or always communicate to me about levels. It tends to be track specific here on Gran Turismo. It's weird. And I was also commentating over SF23 cars, and they were just so much quieter that I whacked the volume up, and then I did another video on a GT3 race and I found it too high, so I'm turning it down again. It's very, very difficult to make the judgment each and every time. So do make sure that you keep me informed. That was Glovas running through. Appreciate the Webbo sticker from Glovas as usual there on the car, and he's also gone for the colour change on it to match his colour scheme, which is perfectly well approved. The Predator Racing, that's what it should look like on the left-hand side of the car, but on the right-hand side you've got that bandaged section where it's been dented and bruised there, and the body shop still haven't been able to attend. There was the Eagle flying across the top of the track. It wasn't particularly realistically flying, but hey, we'll take an Easter egg when we get it. There's plenty around this circuit. We saw the drivers pass underneath one of the bridges into the tunnels where the spectators were watching on top. It's about to arrive just about here. Well, we did see it earlier, then they've gone from the driver's point of view. Let's see if it happens again as we come through. But certainly camera, depending on the camera angle, it seems to depend on whether we get to see those drivers. You can see that the light levels are dimming already on the way through, and the tunnels are looking brighter. So the exits of the tunnels looking darker now than they did before. Larry comes through in 12th, has lifted himself from the back of the grid, as Preston and Junkai have clearly had a big problem through the course. They haven't pitted. I don't know if they've turned the engines down as the fuel is burning off, but yeah, looking a little bit odd because they were doing so much better earlier on. Zen is loving life out there at the head of the field on the medium tyre. His front left is the most limited tyre. He needs to try and get one more lap out of that front left. But he's going to be vulnerable later on because the majority of the drivers have gone for the hard tyre to start the race. So it's going to be really interesting. As Astonishing says, going to put on my game face, visor down for the safety car. Be right back. Great stuff. Thanks, Astonishing. As Zen is there in first place, 5.8 seconds his gap. And this is the Wipeout livery of Don't Need Time. Wipeout, a fabulous Sony Interactive franchise. It's about time we had a new Wipeout game in PSVR 2, is it not? Absolutely love to see that, because on PSVR it was great. It kept the game alive for so long as well. Here is Chaotica then in the Ace Combat livery. Currently our Sony Interactive team running P2 and P3, hoping to get a little bit of a boost from Polyphony Digital and Sony Interactive themselves, of course, on Gran Turismo. Maybe the use of certain stickers will allow the cars to go a little bit faster, give them a little horsepower boost. But I'm quite grateful that the sun hasn't completely set on us. I'm worried now that it is permanently sunset and time elapse has been set to 1, and I'm not ever going to have paid off the turning up the exposure. But hopefully that's not the situation and we'll be okay. Zen comes through and he pits now at the end of his lap 13. Don't Need Time, I think we will see lots of pit stops here. Don't Need Time declines the pit lane. That's a surprise to me. Even though he is on the hard tyre, I was expecting to see this last opportunity to pit, that he would be coming in But no, it looks like the drivers are at least expecting to go one more run here. As Comacopa's tempted to the pit lane. Oh, he crosses the line big time, I think, there. He was very late making the decision, Comacopa, to come into the pits. It wouldn't surprise me if he's got a 3-second penalty on the way out, but I think he gets away with that because of the safety car period itself. Comacopa, Floody, Camzilla, Larry, all coming into the pits. That leaves Preston out there. So the hard tyres, the driver's deciding actually that they'd rather stay on the hard tyre and wait here to come through. Lots of other drivers coming through the pits. Junkai has gone round and S. Berman hasn't made it. Yeah, he's already pitted, excuse me. And that was very early from S. Berman to pit, and he's dropped down to 14th place. He's going to hope to pick up some positions here as we wait for that safety car to head on out of the pit lane. That's got to be on his way out fairly soon. There's no harm being early as long as you allow the tail runner to come through. There's certainly harm being late, as we've seen before in the course of our history here on the channel with Deviant Racing. Most notably, I think, Mercury, and I've had fun with. As just don't need time, not pushing too hard, I think, at this point. He's gonna, I think, ride the safety car period so that he can just make sure he's got enough life on the mediums and enough fuel on the car to finish the race. So here it is, I think. Finally, we are starting to get darkness fall, thankfully, on the cars. Here he goes, heading towards the pit lane. No, he's decided to decline the pit lane. Safety car has come out just fine. There's Astonishing to stay behind on his car. And we're just going to check out how the safety car is looking. There is a Deviant sticker on the windows and on the hood, and a black nose as well for the Hellcat. So a slightly different design of safety car for this round, this trial mountain round. He's actually scarred up the car. Look, I can see Astonishing's managed to get some paint taken off the car, unless that is a sticker design. But there it is, and it's actually got some sort of weird arrangement on the pop-up headlights. There, kind of a lollipop target effect on the side. Let's take a nice close look up then at the Wipeout, livery for Team Sony Interactive in the blue, white, and black. Looks really cool. I really like that. It makes for a great racing livery, regardless of the fact that it's for a game. Really like it. All I would say, you can't quite read Wipeout on the hood there. It's quite so clearly. Ace Combat 7, we've got a fighter jet, of course. We've got various armed forces insignia, but Ace Combat 7, very fondly remembered game by your commentator. We've seen the Tutsi NASCAR before, of course, and they've got Orchid Racing on the rear wing as well. Not a brand I'm familiar with, unfortunately, but Camping World, Freeway Insurance, Comscope, and what's on the back, the Nismo official stickers there. Here is the Team 404 Motorsport livery, looking fantastic. Of course, the blue and the yellow. Be Kind Rewind. We were all used to. And a big thank you to Blockbuster there for the fond memories from Team 404 Motorsport, who are celebrating, of course, brands we have loved and lost. Kool-Aid is the Team NASCAR with a little bit of Old Spice on there as well. Is the look of the Nismo today for Arcane. We've got the Blockbuster of Mercury. I think don't see any big differences on that one. Then the Wunderpferd car of Zen, and we can see a mountain and an eagle for Trial Mountain, and I think that looks like a Yogi Bear, possibly, on the side. Thank you for the Webbo comms. Jackson Hole, I don't know Jackson Hole, but a different Deviant Racing logo on the back as well, on the rear quarter there. But I do like the yellow, black, red fade for Team Wunderpferd and the special stickers for this one. Zen has obviously got himself his own logo on his hood as well. It's about time we celebrated some different chicken restaurants now for Team Polio Loco. It's been a while. To say into the pits for Preston, Mercury, Junkai, Floody, everybody else coming in. Let's have a look at a closer look at the Predator Shark livery then for Camzilla. You can see that that bandage on the side with the dents. Reminds me of that mummy livery that we had last season or the season before. So Team Builder have added this digital camo effect, which is pretty cool. I like that. Team Builder appears to be, from my research at least, a sports team management app as deployed by the previous owners and incarnation of this team. S. Berman, Zanshin, there, the co-owners thereof, and then Larry has made it into P6, and he's on the medium tyres. New set of mediums on the Lamborghini. Tried to refuel to the limit here. I think the drivers, just make sure we've seen everybody's livery. I don't want to miss anybody out. I don't think we have. We've gone back to Preston and then the Chick-fil-A, which hasn't, as I say, hasn't changed for a while. For Polio Loco, I like the theme. I like the fact that they're they're doing the same thing, but slightly different. So red and white. We haven't seen McDonald's actually, and the McChicken Nugget or the McChicken Sandwich option, which I think would be pretty cool. Haven't seen. Let me see. Floody, what does his hood look like? He's got the Washington Commanders W, and Floody's got his own logo there as well. But there I can see the Washington Commanders W. We like anything that is represented by a W. Williams, Webbo, Washington Commanders. Quite happy with that. It's not Yogi Bear, it's a Smokey on there, on the hat of the bear. It did remind me of Yogi. So Zen is in first place as we are going to restart this race. He's on the hard tyres, as is his teammate Floody. That will be a big help to Zen on the restart. Then we go to Komakopa, who's on the mediums. Expect him in the Ferrari to have a strong restart relative to Zen and Floody. The medium drivers, of course, by definition, will have to protect the tyre a little bit through the course of the second half of this race, as Camzilla's in fourth. We've got Berman in fifth. Sorry, Camzilla on the medium, Berman, Larry, Arcane, Nismo, Don't Need Time, Chaotica, Glovass, Mercury, Preston, everybody on the medium tyres, with the exception of the lead two for Team Wunderfett. So that should make it nice and easy to remember, but that's an interesting situation for Wunderfett to be in. They're going to have to try and allow Zen to get away, I think. But I can see Floody being vulnerable here. We wait then for the green flag to restart our race, and it is lap 16 with 26 and 2/3 minutes to go. We wait for the green flag. There it is, as Zen will launch the car. Komakopa immediately screaming up into second position, passing Floody on the way into turn one, and he's going to have grip to spare here, so sandwiching himself between the two Wunderfett drivers as Larry and Camzilla come together, going through turn two, and then Camzilla getting pinballed back onto the barrier. Larry allowing him back through again, but that'll be a little but fairly cold comfort to Camzilla, who unfortunately ended up being the innocent party here, I think, as Camzilla, you can see, in the bright blue Shark livery. How did they come together? Well, Larry was just trying to make the manoeuvre, but he got hit from behind from his teammate and pinballed straight into Camzilla. There was Larry releasing him and pretty much the rest of the field as they come back through the order. So Larry down to 14th place. It was all looking a lot better for him earlier on, but Komakopa still has the hazard lights on the car at the moment. He won't necessarily be able to see that being in VR. You don't always see in your cockpit that your hazards are on. You might need to be told. Komakopa in second, Floody in third, and then anybody's guess heading into turn 8 here, as Don't Need Time is in fourth place, just rubs the wall on the way through. Does that allow Arcane the opportunity to grab the outside line, becoming the inside line? Arcane and Berman fighting then over who gets the chance to take advantage of don't need time. The car's just running onto the grass slightly as Berman squeezes through into 5th place. Arcane down to 6th. He was about to take don't need time's 4th place away, and Arcane back on the grass again, unsighted on the exit of the hairpin through the tunnel, and that was problematic for him. The drivers having to be super careful as they hop over that crested turn. Kind of looks like a strawberry, the Kool-Aid, rather than a watermelon on its roof. But here we go as Chaotica screams down the inside. Gloves might go for both of them as they head down into turn 1. Oh, it's very close. Gloves trying to get Arcane, and he's going to go for a wide sweeper, but that might allow the Nismo to come on through, and I think it does. Nismo making his way through and past Gloves, who opened the door because he was trying to perform the cutback on the watermelon. Kool-Aid NASCAR Nismo in front of him, but he's side by side. He grabs the inside line again. Nismo into the barrier slightly, as Astonishing calling this as Arcane's best race so far. This is tremendous on the restarts, just seeing everybody so close together. Chaotica and Berman are side by side on the way down the longest straightaway here, but it's this battle for 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th that we're watching closely. Zen leads Komakopa and Floody at the head of the field, but here we go. Globas to the inside line in the Mercedes AMG. Will his teammate Mercury try and sneak into the inside line behind him as well, with the gap that'll be left by Arcane? Arcane sweeps through, holds on at least to 8th place. Side by side they continue to go. My apologies for the limited view on the camera angles here. It's very difficult to see exactly what's happening. Kiros Kai saying Larry had that bad luck after great pit strategy. He set on the wrong tyres to start and had to pit twice. Thank you to Kiros Kai for that one. But unfortunately he had a great restart and then ended up just in between two cars who were pushing hard going through. Oh, that's a problem. That is a problem for Junkai at the tail of the field. Let's see, was he pushed into it, I wonder. Let's have a look as he comes through. Tell me it's not Preston as we go into the next corners. I think it was when he turns to the right. No, he lost the car over the crest, boom, into the barrier, and that is some damage front and rear of the car. He won't thank me for replaying that in close detail, but we do like to find out what happens to our drivers. Komakopa's taken the lead of the race ahead of Zen. Let's see if we caught that in the replay buffer. No, but it was done before they got into turn 1, and Zen looked to still be recovering going through turn 2. I wonder if Zen had a problem on the way out of one of the previous corners, similar to what we just saw from Junkai down there in the Polio Loco car. Zen, 2nd place. Don't need time because Zen now on the hard tyres. Looks like it might be a less than ideal strategy call here from Zen. We'll see later on, of course, at the end of the race. It could be a stroke of genius. It could be that these medium runners are going to burn through their tyres, but at the moment Zen looking very vulnerable and unable to extend the gap that he had earlier on with the tyre delta. Don't need time versus Zen as it was at the start of our race, but in reverse positions now. Don't need time on the better, grippier tyre. Zen on the slower, longer life hard at the moment. But Komakopa out in front, and what a story that would be if he could move house, unpack his rig last minute, and rock up and win Trial Mountain. Big off from Astonishing calls there for the Polio Loco racer. P4 is flooding at the moment. Be careful of that crested right-hander there that the left-hander that the drivers are going through. It's normally a right-hander, and through there as they run through. And there's another pit stop coming. Who is that for? Just saw someone in the pits. Did I? Or am I completely missed? I'm just seeing things. My apologies. So Junkai down in 14th position. This is Komakopa versus Don't Need Time for the lead of our race. They've just come through turns 1 and 2. Turn 3 is a slightly trickier right-hander now. Nismo with a penalty, that was. Thank you, Astonishing, for catching that one. But it's, yeah, peeled across to the side, didn't he? And look that way. Komakopa P1, Don't Need Time P2. Don't Need Time looking like he don't need Komakopa in front of him right now. Around into turn 7. Don't Need Time has had great pace today. So joining him on board as we try and hook up into the slipstream, left by Comacopa's Ferrari. Very Monaco-esque in reverse lit tunnel situation, but look at the pace in the Peugeot as we go on past the Grizzly Bear Predator for the trial mountain round here of the race, and that's Don't Need Time into the lead of the race. We'll get a better view of that in the replay. This is important then. Lap 20 as peeling across to the inside. Comacopa gave him the inside there. I thought he was going to try and defend, but down the inside line, and that was just pure pace out of the Peugeot, and no one on a road has ever said that. Comacopa in P2 ahead of now Zen in P3, who's actually started to get those hard tyres working a bit better, so it could well work out very well. Comacopa was very wide. I don't know if he actually picked up damage. I think he did on the way out of the previous corner. Let's just see that one again as he peels into the final section here. It's this right-hander. Oh, he got too much of it. He ended up ducking out, and just that light little touch was enough to damage the front. Unless he'd already picked up damage earlier on, that was pretty strict from Gran Turismo to give him light damage, but it has repaired now. Chaotica in 4th place, still very much within the chance of a win today. Medium tyres for him as well. He is 4.5 seconds away from the lead of the race. Don't Need Time looking to extend that gap now while he has the pace delta over Zen, but Zen's going to try his best to try and get that slipstream and pick up here. I think the mediums are starting to give a little bit, says Astonishing. I think you might be right. Let's see what Zen's pace looks like. A 154.4 the last 2 laps. Don't Need Time 152.8 on the previous lap. That was with a huge slipstream. The other drivers, it's a little bit hard to tell. So Chaotica moving forward now. He's got the next opportunity to take Comacopa. Chaotica goes down the inside line. I wonder if Comacopa is protecting his fuel load here a little bit. He certainly has less fuel on board than the Peugeots. There's a little drone taking some shots for us. Shouldn't really be featuring in the camera angle. The drone needs to, pilot needs to know where the camera angles are. But a kind of a feature of Gran Turismo is that we tend to do a lot of looking back at cars' headlights, which is not great for night racing, I have to say. Am I controlling that drone too? No, unfortunately not. That would be so cool, wouldn't it? If we could actually control the helicopter or the drone shots, that would be something else. It really would. Don't Need Time leads Zen and Chaotica. Comacopa here in 4th place, and Glovas not a million miles away either in 5th place. S. Berman ahead of Arcane is the next most likely battle. 2.5 tenths of a second between the two of them. Arcane, well, looked like he might have been going for it into turn 1. Couldn't quite get the move done, but looking for a better exit here. S. Berman has been looking a little bit wayward today. He's obviously having to push very hard and make up for a lack of feel or setup accuracy from that his Lamborghini's been offering him so far. The sun definitely a bit beneath the horizon now as the daylight starts to run out on us. We will hopefully be going all the way into nighttime conditions. I might adjust the EV, the exposure correction for the GTD race. We'll see how this finishes, but it looks like certainly the shadow of the pine trees here in Trial Mountain, the brighter settings are more preferable. Arcane in P7 taking his watermelon Kool-Aid cart. Well, he tried to use the inside line. S. Berman denied him the use of that section, and then they bang wheel arches on the way through. Arcane certainly knows now how hard Berman is going to fight over that P6, and that gives him a little bit of information, tells him what he needs to do differently next time. Larry's back to 9th place, but not for long, unfortunately, clattering into the curbstone on the exit of the corner. He's going to pick up some light damage on the car. Camzilla will try and pounce while that damage is there, as Astonishing says, oof, Larry, yeah. And again, it does look like the for both cars, either it's a setup problem for the Lamborghini or it's simply just understeer today. Larry peeling across the inside. Kamsila taking that as a defence, I think. I'm not sure it was, but we will see as Kamsila goes down the inside lane now on the way into turn 1. This is where the restart went so wrong for Cam. Stuck on the outside now as Preston just nerfs the barrier on the way out. Mercury's in P13. Junkai is down in 14th position, but still only 23.8 seconds behind our leader Don't Need Time, who goes through shot now, who's extended his gap to Zen here to 5.7 seconds. This Peugeot can run all day on its fuel. It's just a matter of treading lightly on the tyres. Zen in the Team Van der Vet Audi R8 in P2. Commentator's Jinx says astonishing. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. I know I get that all the time. But Zen in P2. I even get that when I'm calling a replay race, would you believe? It's super dark on the way in between the two tunnels here. Turning left. As we do for Chaotica in the forest section now. Great looking track. Great looking cars as well today across the field. Absolutely love it. Can't decide now whether I want the Blockbuster Video livery to live on or the Toys R Us livery to live on. Both are fabulous, fabulous designs from Globas, I believe. Comacopa in the Predator Grizzly. I don't know my bears particularly well, but I'm going to guess it's a grizzly bear. It's not black. There's Comacopa. He runs through. Do you know what? I don't think we actually got very close to the livery for Comacopa through the pit stop. So you can see the gold trim and text on the car here. It's a little Webbo circular rusty style golden sticker on the other side there as well. Great details on the car. It's Team Predator going for those natural Predator themes. Number 72 for Comaco, very French looking number 72 as well on his race number. S Bourbon in P6. We have Arcane in 7th, Nismo in 8th. Back to Larry now in 9th place with Floody just ahead of Kamzilla, who's just got ahead of Kamzilla in fact. I don't know if we can catch that, or we were looking at what was going on earlier on. No, unfortunately not, but Floody in between Cam and firm friend Larry. They run through now. Mercury and Preston fighting over 12th position. What we love about Deviant Racing is that the drivers are still out of pride pushing for those bottom positions on the grid throughout the course of the season. Of course, the GTD drivers fighting for every point to stay off the relegation zone. Mercury defending well at the moment. And then getting a little love tap from Preston. It didn't buy Preston anything, unfortunately. That tactic, whether it was tactic or accident. So he tried the little bump draft, and I think he makes contact going through the next right-hander. Let's have a look. He gets a good run, but yeah, it didn't help. It didn't help at all. So he tried the bump and run. It didn't work out for the KFC driver. Team Polioloco in the NSX, much to Astonishing's earlier prediction and feeling, not the car to drive here today. Why is that Astonishing? What is it about the NSX that gives it that apparent disadvantage? I'd love to know. Don't Need Time in the first position now has a 7.2 second gap at the moment. Hi to Alexandra, new member of the channel. Late to the party here. Late to the race, unfortunately, but you can be as late as you like when you're a member of the channel and receive zero criticism. But yes, Chaotica in P3. Larry at the moment, P8 right now. He's had quite the adventurous time of it. A problem on his lap at the start meant he's done 2 pit stops where most everybody else managed the 1. Just not fast enough for the NSX, it says Astonishing. Right, okay, understood. So Team Sony Interactive currently running 1st and 3rd positions with Don't Need Time and Chaotica. Team Van der Vet are in second with Zen, and I think it's Arcane, is it not, in seventh, if I've got my teams correctly. 404 Motorsport in the Blockbuster Video livery to date are in P4, and I think Mercury is down there in 9th or 10th at the moment. Berman in 5th for the Team Builder app, and Comacopa for Team Predator in 6th place. Yeah, it's Arcane, sorry, in the Nismo, in the NASCAR Nismo Kool-Aid livery for the watermelon flavour today. Ahead of Larry there in 8th place for Team Builder. Nismo in the Tootsie NASCAR in P9, with Camzilla for Team Predator in the Ferrari in 10th. Floody for Vunderfet is 11th, my apologies, and the 404 Motorsport driver Mercury is in 12th place, with Polioloco in 13th and 14th places. So we've got a close midfield, but the battle for the podium has started to fade slightly. This is Berman's 5th from Comacopa's 6th. Behind him is a gap of 1.4 seconds to Arcane, and I think the most likely manoeuvre is likely to come here from Camzilla, who has to play the Jaws music out the front of his Ferrari for the entire race, and turns it on when he is less than a second behind the driver in front. So Nismo, the driver, is having to listen to that now. Camzilla on the medium tyres. Remember, it's just Team Vunderfet in the Audis who are on the hard tyres for the second stint of the race. This is Camzilla with a good run on the Nismo. As he goes side by side. I was saying, I kind of I wanted Nismo to drive a Nismo for so long. Now I'm not very keen on it because it's quite difficult to talk about. It looks like Nismo very confident on the brakes then in the NASCAR livery. Not that the livery has a great deal of difference when it comes to braking power, but Camzilla unable to pounce now at this stage of proceedings. We've also got in front Larry, very close to Arcane through the tunnel. Oh, Larry with a big snap, but a great hold and a Webbo style point for Larry through the tunnel. As Camzilla will continue directly behind Nismo, and they will both catch Larry now as a result of that phase. Nismo denying Camzilla the opportunity to get that inside line as he just starts to peel across. And, looking for a better braking line, certainly better, rippier side of the track from the Ferrari, who goes very wide through turn 2. I think we've got a really good chance of having a four-way battle out of turn 7 down the long straightaway. Nismo in P9, behind him Camzilla in 10th, in front of him Larry in 8th, and Arcane in 7th place. The front three still the same, don't need time. Zen and Chaotica on lap 27 with just over 6.5 minutes left to go before the checkered flag will fall. And it's Arcane who goes in, who will be punching a hole in the air on the way out of this turn 7, and I think it is absolutely anybody's down here. Here is Nismo and Larry trying to make use of that slipstream. Have a look in the mirror as well at the headlights. Camzilla hasn't quite got the poke out of the turn 7 corner. Looks like the NASCAR Nismo well trimmed for this section of the racetrack. Larry on the outside, Arcane very much defending to the inside as Larry tries to go wide, but you've got to stay on the racing line through these next sequence of right-handers because they are so low grip. If you get it wrong, those headlights closing in the mirrors of Nismo as Larry almost clatters that barrier once again, and he's tucked on the inside now through this tunnel right-hander. It's low grip, it's low temperature under the tunnel lights through there. It's not had any of the benefit of the sun baking the asphalt throughout the course of the daytime period here at Trial Mountain. And Nismo in 9th place trails Larry's 8th. Larry could not get a run here on Arcane, and Camzilla has a chance once again, but Nismo defends. But Camzilla has the opportunity to go for the inside line here into turn 1. It's not on at this point, and cutting back. Floody making 11th place very much his at the moment. As Camzilla runs through. Don't need time, Zen and Chaotica, your top 3. As I think Chaotica is now closing on Zen. He's managed to cool those medium tyres for a short period. Zen is on the hard tyres, remember, as Linus Stern go P8, 9, 10, and now 11 as well. There is Floody, and I think even Mercury on the back is catching this group. That's Larry down the inside of Arcane. A little bit of contact possibly. I think we might need to just see that again as they go through the next turn. What happened here? Did Arcane make a mistake going through the corner? Was it all Larry just pouncing on the way into turn 7? This came from a long way back from Larry. Goes for it. Contact front left to rear right. I'm not sure that's going to be stood for with the stewards. Larry might do well to give this position back down the straightaway in a safe position, but he's hanging on to it. So he may feel like something precipitated that little tag on Arcane through the corner. Arcane may not be feeling quite so justifiably treated, I think, at this point. So with a few minutes left to go, Arcane is struggling. He's struggling on that front left to get the car turned into the apex. That's probably why it looks like he's leaving a gap to the inside, because he just can't get the car turned to the right to touch the apex as he needs to. He's trying with the same inputs, but tyres are dead. Dead tyres, says Astonishing, just as I'm realising that for myself. Everyone on the mediums is struggling now. Everyone is in the same boat pretty much. Don't need times, front left is okay, but it's 3 minutes to go. This will be the penultimate lap, I believe. So I think we will go through to just 30 laps. The safety car period obviously slowing them down through the course of proceedings. Chaotica, I think, having protected that front left very well. He's actually not far away from Zen, and he's not in trouble on the tyre just yet, but he's got to do another lap and a half on that tyre. 1.4 seconds for a potential 1-2 for Team Sony Interactive, representing Ace Combat 7 and the Wipeout franchise today. And certainly be looking for a speed boost for Don't Need Time's Wipeout car, or to drop a few mines behind him for Zen to have to dodge. But Chaotica, 1.2 seconds is a chance here. I don't think Zen is going to close in 8.2 seconds. Don't Need Time's front left is bad, but it's not that bad. 2 minutes and 11 seconds to go. I wonder, you know, whether we will actually go for another lap. He needs to slow down here. 4, 3, 2, and 1. With 2 minutes to go. So we will see. He could, I think he could do this with a lap to spare, but he may have to do a whole extra lap. Don't Need Time. I think he'll be able to slow at the line. Zen and Chaotica will definitely start their final lap. There's no way they can go through to do a 31st lap. Don't Need Time is going to be stretched here, but I think he's got the gap that he needs to make it work. Glovas in the heavy and very long-fronted Mercedes AMG will have trouble on that front left for sure, as S. Berman is right there. Behind him, just 0.4 of a second. He's been protecting. He's been suffering understeer. He's dodgy on fuel, and Glovas is dodgy on tyres. I don't know which you'd rather be at this stage of the race. But there's Berman with a slide, trying to take advantage, perhaps where the move wasn't really on. S. Berman in 5th. Komakopa back in 6th place. He has been as high as P1 today, but I think you'd be relatively happy with a 6th place. And then comes the economy drivers here, who are trying to limp home. Arcane in 8th with just about 3 pixels of grip left on his front left tyre. Mercury in 9th has even less grip. Camzilla, Floody, Nismo, all within shot of each other here. Junkai in 12th place. Nismo just dropping back thanks to the penalty, I think. Preston in 14th. Don't Need Time has 25 seconds before being able to cross the line here. And the gap between P2 and 3 is less than a second. Zen is managing the car on the way through. I think don't need time. If he's sensible here, we'll just hold up the car. It doesn't really matter. He can limp home regardless. But if he just holds off before crossing the line, I think don't need time. The checkered flag falls now, and don't need time is your winner at Trial Mountain. But a fantastic performance. I'm not super keen on doing that as at the end of an endurance race, because it can cause a yellow flag. But Zen in second, Chaotica in third position, and very closely behind Glovas with a terrific second stint performance there in P4 in the AMG with barely any grip left on the tyre. S. Berman gets fifth, and Comma Copa sixth place after a house move. Larry in seventh, Mercury in eighth place with Camzilla in ninth. Floody crosses the line in 10th. Junkai drops to 11th. Arcane down to 12th out of fuel, I want to say, or tyres, one of the two. But Arcane, I just want to see what happened to Arcane on his way out. Was it fuel running out? I think it might have been, but he dropped down like a stone at the end of the race on that final lap. Congratulations, though, to Don't Need Time, who will drink the champagne today and take home the W. Don't Need Time, with a best lap of 1:52.232, gets an extra little boost there for the fastest lap. 3 seconds. It was. He crossed the line to spare with a 6-second gap to Zen in second place. Chaotica in third place with a 0.6 of a second gap between P2 and P3. Glovas in fourth, Berman in fifth, Comacopa, Larry and Mercury wrapping up the top 8 as Camzilla, Floody, Junkai, Arcane, Nismo and Preston all came home on that lead lap. Thank you to Astonishing. Thank you to everybody who took part in today's race, be it driving or administering, watching the race and commenting. Thank you to everybody who takes time to show their appreciation on the channel as well. From me, Webbo, from us here at Deviant GTD Pro, thank you for watching. We will catch you on the next race day. We'll be back on live on the channel momentarily.